Yeah, we're still there.
This is A View from the Bridge, official podcast of the Belfast Giants for kingdomofgiants.com. Today is Tuesday, the 15th of October, 2024. I'm Davy McJimsey. He's Simon Kitchen. He's Gareth Martin. As you can see, it's no pleasure of mine to say this, but Paddy is on the injured reserve tonight, not feeling too well. So unfortunately, we're going to have to try and muddle through as best we can. We've got some good guests coming up. Newest Belfast Giants defenseman Mike Lee will be joining us, Danny Stewart of the Nottingham Panthers, and a surprise towards the end, first ever Belfast Giant, hopefully will be coming along, Mark Cavallin. So gentlemen, start at the very beginning. Says, how you doing this week? How's it been?
I'm all right, David. Busy weekend, obviously. Big game on Sunday, another near sellout crowd. Just a few seats left on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. But yeah, it was well, we were obviously going to go on to talk about it, but sheeted the bum time at one point, but managed to find a way to get it done. And yeah, I'm doing all right today.
The first man, as we like to tell him, the first man from Belfast to score a goal in the SSA, and our good friend Gareth Martin. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, Davy. Thanks. Yeah, I was away on holiday there, 11 nights in Lanzarote, so a bit of a shock to the system when I came back, and the torrential downpour coming off the planes. So I was just trying to adjust back into the routine, into the usual grind.
Well, let's no further ado. Let's just get tucked in. Last Wednesday night, Simon, I think I'm right in saying that the Belfast Giants travelled over to the Kingdom of Fife. See if I can do what Paddy does. I don't know whether I can, but I'll try my best. And they came away with a 7-0. Tell me, says, can you see that?
Yes.
7-0 win the Belfast Giants. Goals from the guy that's coming up later on here, Mike Lee, P.O. Marin, Grant Mismatch, JJ Pickens, Kieran Long, and then a pair of power play goals for Jordan Kawaguchi and another for Pierre Olivier. Marin giving a 7-0 win to the Belfast Giants. Another shutout and a really good display as well from Jackson Whistle. His 12th shutout for the Belfast Giants, all told. See if I can come back to where I was. I don't know. Apologies in advance for this. The technical. Paddy's got this down. A fine art. I'm going to try and bring in the goals from. If we can. Don't know how this will work, but here's the goals from last weekend. We can talk through these as we go. Simon, let's have a little chat through the Fife game there. What did you think of the performance, first of all?
Dominated. To be honest, I thought Fife looked actually they weren't even at the game. Shane knowing he's going to want a few back on the night itself. That first one, Mike Lee, a little bit of a shoulder drop at the blue line, stepped into the top of the circles, and again positioning by Shane Owen on that one. I think he's going to want that one back. He leaves too much of a gap on his right hand side. Jackson came up big with a number of good saves in the first period as well. But we were clinical. We just dominated in every area. Smart plays, nice passing, good goals. And, it was. I was watching it online, and it didn't seem to be very many people in Fife on a Wednesday night, which is a wee bit concerning. It's been around for a long, long time. I always used to enjoy going to Fife, but when they've only got, I would say I didn't look at the numbers, but it must have been less than 1,000 people there on a Wednesday night. But it's it's sad to see, but it's one of those things that it's I don't know how much it is to go to Fife games. I don't know how much what the season tickets are and stuff like that. But
so to cut across you there, because I was talking to someone else about that, 786 in the building on the night, which is disappointing, obviously, from a commercial position for them. They've got those extra cup games this season with the format the way it is. These aren't season ticket games, so maybe not the easiest of games to sell a Wednesday night.
Bring the price down. Do you know what I mean? You'd probably give cheaper tickets and try and get groups involved. I mean, as I say, Marty played there numerous times before as well. Davey, there's not an awful lot to do in Fife, so find a way of getting them in and trying to include them. I know that they had a couple of the local kids, like James Spence was playing. Obviously, Brody Kay was playing and backing up. The goalie was backing up as well. So Regarding the game itself, we absolutely dominated. We were really good in a lot of areas, and maybe probably left our scoring touch in Fife on Wednesday night for leading into Glasgow on Saturday. Sorry, but the most important thing was the 2 points, and that's what we did. Good night's work.
Marty, just to give you a little quick comment, at least on the game. I don't know how much you saw with your holidays and stuff there. We always talk about the importance of getting that first goal past Shane Owen and maybe trying to get him moving to east to west. There was 3, 4, maybe even 5 goals there where we've crossed that royal road, got him moving and got him out of position.
Yeah, definitely. We went 1-0 up, and I think they had 3 chances to level the game. And Jackson stood in his head, came up really big, and I think that's where the energy swing completely changed. And we just were more clinical. They had 21 shots in total. We had on net. They had 37. So they did have enough shots, but yeah, we were just so clinical, as you say, going east to west on Shane Owen. He ran out of steam as well. I mean, we were 3-0 up first period, and then we got 2 goals second, 2 goals third, and it just seemed like you touched on the crowd there. What 780 people there. The team didn't bring any energy either. Giants obviously travelled that day off the boat. Sometimes it takes you 5-10 minutes to get the adrenaline going, but from the off they were ready, and it did look men against boys and on the Wednesday night game.
He says can't move on without at least mentioning first professional point. Played a good regular shift. Rode Mitchell King on the back end coming up, and Max Stewart as well having performances on the evening.
Yeah, great to see the kids coming in. We were short on bodies leading into that game in Fife last week. I really like Mitchell King. I really think he's got a big career ahead of him as long as he keeps his skates on the ice. And I thought he played very well. I think he played 7 or 8 minutes or something like that last week. But good to get him to get his debut. Great play for the goal as well. He sort of blocks a shot, drives down the left wing and throws it across. Good finish at the back stick. So, and then a wee Mac, he's really impressed me again when he's been playing the preseason. I think he got 2 goals in preseason, maybe 3, was it?
2 goals, 3 points.
There's not much. There's not much to him, but he has got balls. He just gets stuck straight in, and never. It doesn't make a difference how small or big you are. He'll finish his hit on you, which, when you're getting hit relentlessly every game, it doesn't matter what size you are. You just basically do the right simple things, and I've been really impressed with Mac when he's been playing as well.
Let's just have 60 seconds with Adam Keefe after the game. Maybe.
Not the result you were looking for, but what's your reflection on this game here?
Second best. I thought credit to Glasgow. Corey has them playing real well. They were very good tonight, and they were second best in pretty much every field out there tonight.
Right, who noticed that's the wrong one? See, wouldn't it be far better if Paddy was here? Let's see if we can do this again. Post-clan. Let's just do without it. How about that? The game was that long ago. Adam would have said 7-0. Pleased with that. And we'll move on to Friday. That's what he'd have said, probably. But he'd have probably said we'd move on to Saturday, because that's what we did. We went into Glasgow on Saturday for the first time this season. Who knows whether I can do this? Clan, 11 minutes of highlights. Who knows, is this the home or away game? It's the away game. Just what we need.
Pitter patter.
There we go. So we'll come to you first on this one, Marty. Obviously, the Belfast Giants jumped off to an early start. We've talked about starting on time. Less than a minute gone in the game, and Mark Cooper puts us in an early lead.
Yeah, and before that, Tom McCollum made 2 big saves, so a lot happened within that first 58 seconds. But yeah, we've seen Mark Cooper doing this quite a lot, more so in power plays. But it was nice for him to get into that position early on, get the play down deep, and I think he fooled Bo. Bo went in, did a bit of a poke check, and he just kind of slid under the stick, and we got the lead. We were 1-0 up all of the first, more or less all of the second. So I think we were second best though to the Clan. I think the Clan have certainly got their act together. They started off quite slow, and they were getting beat by Fife, they were getting beat by Dundee, all them kind of local fixtures that they were hoping to be better at. And certainly they've upped their game, and it was only for McCollum really. For what the first two periods, he just everything was sticking to him. He was just so good, and I just thought that the Glasgow were kind of looking the better team. Unfortunately, yeah, for the Giants, they were doing quite well in the penalty kill, and it was just that power play goal eventually in the third that they were able to. The Glasgow Clan were obviously able to come in and level it up. Um, the I'm kind of waiting on the first goal to come in for the Clan. I know it's it's quite a way off, but I can just remember when they had scored, they actually had quite a few breakaways in the game, which I was quite surprised. But once they got the breakaway, it was Sederoff had picked up the puck and he went behind the back of the net, and three of the Giants players actually followed him. And it's very unusual for the Giants to kind of be puck watching. And when he went round, just slid into McCollum, and then once they got that goal, then I just felt they got a wee bit of belief, and they certainly went on. Obviously, got the second goal, and when they got the second goal, Giants obviously were trying to do a bit of a pushback, and unfortunately, then Mark Cooper got another penalty, and then obviously it was more or less grasping the straws at the end, and then that's when they went and got the empty netter to make it a 3-1 game. But my overall view was I did think that they battling, they outbattled us, and I just think Hurd was being a bit of a pain, as we'll go on to chat about on the Sunday game at home. And I think their captain Sidorov is a top notch player.
Says we obviously we talked ourselves yesterday, the day before, I can't remember when it was now, but about this long stretch pass that has caused a number of one-on-one breakaways for us too. Obviously, goals come from it at the weekend, and we've seen the one from the Fife. It's a bit of a bad line change for us here. We just don't get it in deep enough, and I guess Setter off, goes straight down Main Street and gets a good opportunity. But Marty, this might no, it's in the second period. Let's see if I can wind this on a wee bit here. There's just what Marty's talking about. There are three guys, the two jumping off the bench from the line change, and Cameron Pound going back there, all circle that side of the net and allow the wraparound. Your own thoughts on that?
Yeah, again, we've got to be better on our own end on that occasion. When they actually get the puck in the net, you could have threw a blanket over 4 Giants players. I mean, you see it there right now. Pounder sort of he goes to go to his right, and then all of a sudden stops and tries to get back to his left. Tom's already on the ice. I totally agree with Marty. Without Tom and net on Saturday night, that score could be much worse. I thought the Glasgow Clan played very, very well. Like, we know that Corey Nielsen and Adam Keefe know each other very, very well as well. So, he had his team ready to go, giving up too many odd man chances. Tom again coming up big with a big save there as well, and we're so aggressive going forward and offensively minded team that we just do give teams other chances to drop back. And I know Adam will be concentrating this week on defensive end of the game, because when you go into the likes, Cavvy came out last week with a game against Sheffield and beat Sheffield 4-2. Then getting into Nottingham, we were playing well as well. If we don't score 3 or 4 goals in a game, it's going to be a tough night. Jackson, obviously, the next night with a shutout, but the night before with a shutout. But the Clan, they've got some really good players this year, and they're not afraid to go to the net, and they're not afraid to throw the body about. I thought they were very physical on Saturday night against us, and we sort of, I don't want to say we went missing on occasion, but we're missing a couple of bodies. They're obviously Big Joe Cassetti. He's a big unit and loves throwing the weight about as well. But the Clan thoroughly deserved their win on Saturday night, and they're a tough team to play against in that building, and we've known that over the years. But again, that bouncing right out front there in front of Tom, and it went to review, but disappointing from the overall 3-1 loss. And going into Sunday's game in Belfast, I knew Adam would have put a rocket up with the boys' backsides to try and get them going on Sunday. And we'll go on to talk about that in a minute.
Will you see what I'm going to do now? Maybe.
Not the result you were looking for, but what's your reflection on this game here?
Second best. I thought credit to Glasgow. Corey has them playing real well. They were very good tonight, and they were second best in pretty much every field out there tonight. I thought Tom did his job tonight and gave us a chance to find a second goal to get us back in the game or to get a lead. We couldn't. Yeah, we weren't really generating much.
The team got off to a really quick start, 58 seconds on that opening goal. How pleased were you with that?
Yeah, it was a nice way to start the game. I thought, we give a 2-minute 5-on-3. We don't really get anything from that. I thought we had some looks, we just didn't finish. But we end up losing the special teams battle, and that's the difference in the hockey game. So, and like I said, I thought we didn't win a whole lot of confrontations out there, and the game's going to have to be a lot different tomorrow if we want to take something from tomorrow.
You mentioned the fixture tomorrow. It's the reverse of today's fixture. What's the mentality and the message just to regroup this team going into tomorrow's game?
Respond
to tonight's performance?
Yeah.
Okay, and how do you do that? What do you change?
You compete harder.
Thank you for your time.
And we move on. Hopefully this is, you can see this, but oh no, look what I've done. Ugh. Bring Paddy back. I don't even know how to get back to use now. Sorry about this, everybody. I'm trying my best. It's not as easy.
You're doing all right, Davy. Stop worrying about it.
Present. I'm trying to find Sunday night's game. There we are. There. Sure. We went then back to Belfast the following day, 4 o'clock face off at home in front of a bumper crowd. Simon, you can talk a little bit about that. 6,247 in the building for a Sunday afternoon. I never looked this up, but I'm saying that's going to be one of our best Sunday crowds for as long as I've been doing this stats for the last 10 years or so. A hat trick from Devin Sederoff, obviously 3 goals for the Clan. The Belfast Giants able to come up with the one extra, the hat trick goal. The way things worked now for Grant Mismash. So we started with the goal from Mike Lee on the power play goal from Grant Mismash, 3-1 to the Belfast Giants, and 2 crazy goals in the last sort of 60 seconds for the Clan with their goalie pool. I've seen back to years here, boys. I've seen 2 goals with a with the extra man, but I've never seen it short-handed, Simon. But you got to give the Clan credit that they took advantage of the Giants kind of just taking their foot off the gas ever so slightly. Yeah, I thought we started the game really well. I thought we sort of controlled a lot of the play, and when you're looking at the overall game, 3-1 up with a minute and a half to go, and obviously, there was a bit of an incident there with they went short-handed with I can't remember, is it Hurd? I can't remember. Is it Mitchell Hurd? But he literally takes a stupid penalty, puts his team in a bit of a position where it's sort of, you want to try and, he's got to do better there. I just thought we sort of didn't capitalize on that. We fell asleep when they got that penalty, and he gives them a bit of life. He's going down the tunnel shouting abuse at people, and that was, you love seeing that. The crowd was absolutely brilliant. I mean, they were very, very loud, and for most of the game, and especially in the third period. But again, they get off to a good start to score that goal to get 1-0, and then we come back. Spike gets the game time goal on the power play. We just played really well for 45 minutes, and then obviously those couple of simple mistakes where they make a long stretch pass out of the zone. I've got to say it was a really, really good pass, but we've got to do better there. And then they straight down Main Street, get it back to 3-2, and then 11 seconds or whatever it was later, they tie things up. And I think there's a bit of shock around not just on the bench, but around the arena. Disappointing that get you're so close to finishing the game 3-1 up and get it back to 3-3. I don't want to take the whole game here. Marty was obviously there and watching the game as well, so disappointing to give that up. But finding a way to win was important, and obviously won the shootout. And Marty, not far off a carbon copy of the Cardiff game, and that for a long stretch of the game, it was nip and tuck, and then the Giants sort of took the hold of it in the third period there, got the early goal, obviously, in the third period, really lit the crowd up, and looked like we were well set to take the win in regulation.
It was a crazy game. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was actually witnessing. You know, we started off strong. We did our usual, what we do at home. We go out, we force, we pressurize. You know, all the possessions in their end, and then a little bit of a mistake, they go down, get a nice opening goal, and then obviously we tied up. Um, Actually, I want to go back to Sis didn't actually touch on the picnic. Thanks for letting me talk about this one, Sis. I thought that personally, I thought that should have been a goal. The picnic where he was called for interference. He was kind of dealing with the defenseman just to the left hand side of Bo, and you actually see Bo kind of coming out of his glove. But he's not really pushing him. But he's obviously putting the hands on him, and then once the shot comes from Gabe Bass into the back of the net, and then I just knew with the referees taking so long that it was going to be called off. But do you guys want to talk about that before I go on and chat about the remainder of what I thought of the game? Or
I'm with you, Marty. I don't think there's enough contact for me from Pickenix to the goalie. If anything, the contact is started by Bo. Is a little bit in the blue paint, but he's out of the blue paint before there's a shot away, and I don't think he interferes with the goalie in terms of his ability to get reset to take the shot on. He's square on the shooter, but it's just he just hasn't made the save, and I think the Clan have been thrown a lifeline there that they perhaps didn't deserve on that incident. But you know, you get some you don't. I'd have been disappointed. I'm disappointed it went against us. That's for sure.
No, 100%. And then the second period, no goals in the second period. Just both teams more or less grinding it out. You know, obviously Glasgow playing the kind of perfect away, team coming in, just sitting back, absorbing the pressure, and then when they got the chance to break, they went down. But I thought Jackson Whistle did well in the second period, and then third period, just grand mishmash came out and turned it on. Two snaps that are shelfers. Both high end goals. He was playing so well, and then I just thought we 3-1 going into the last 10 minutes of the game. We had so many chances. Bo got a bit lucky in a couple of occasions, made some really good saves as well. Then we had the 5-on-3 power play, and I thought, it has to be game over. Just put this in the bag of net, put it to bed, and then once we didn't, it was like, geez, 3-1, and then they take the penalty, and then you're just thinking, okay, just grind it out, and then they go down, they get the goal. I'm just thinking, this is unbelievable. Is this actually happening? And then we face off again, and then they get it deep into our end again, and Sitter off again, coming up with a hat trick himself as well. Right place, right time. He's proven already that he's a really, really good player, as I already said in the previous game. And then it's like, whoa, this is disbelief, but this is hockey. This is why we love the game. You don't lie down, and obviously Corey Nielsen has got these guys fighting to the very end, whether they have 6, 5, or 4 players on the ice at any time. And just thankfully in the shootout, we were so clinical, 3 perfect penalty shots, and they just couldn't match us.
Simon, you want to take the end here? Obviously, the Belfast Giants, the game ended. A lovely pick here from Mismash, and just gets it into the red zone here and just opens his body up and top bins.
Yeah, that was a great shot. I was standing right behind that. The view we had was absolutely superb, and great little poke check away from him there. Mish is so talented. He's got an absolute cannon of a shot, but he's giving the goalie the eyes there, top corner, doesn't take his eyes down to look at the puck and just rifles it over the glove of the goaltender, and that's 3-1 up, and you're sitting thinking, do you know what? Yeah, that's really good play. Game's over. Blah blah blah. And then again, they get a penalty. We switch off. They get 2 goals, but going into the shootout, brilliant. 3 really good shots. Jackson at the other end, 3 really good saves. The first one with a poke check, and then the third one was really smart as well. I didn't see just come back to their second goal, I think it was. I didn't see the overhead view yet. I haven't actually watched the
Right,
highlights of the game yet. What was the story with them? Was you I spoke to you after the game on the way home, David, and you said it was
You did.
definitely
You phoned me about midnight, I think, on Sunday night, said, and you're very, very right with what you're saying about momentum in the game. I think that's the first thing you said to me on the phone. If you remember, Sidorov goes down and he goes backhand, forehand, and he opens Wes up, who knocks the posts with his right foot, but rather than knock it, as well as knocking it off, it knocks it up. So the back of the net just pops up and it goes under. It's an absolute fine goal. But I'll see if I can get forward to it here because we've obviously got guests waiting in the wings, and we don't want to keep them waiting any longer. So here we are. Here it says there's the stretch pass, which is kind of similar to Saturday night. Might show you a little overhead. David Good was very quick to call it off, but say we're going to go to video replay. He wasn't sure just from his position and whether it had gone through the area that the net covers. We're just going to get the same replay again, but you can see it in super slow there, Simon, that it goes through, clearly goes through them. Here you are.
Yeah, that's fair.
So fair enough. And here's the super slows even better. So it's an absolutely fine goal. But obviously then the goal at the score 11 seconds later, if we look the similar to Saturday night, they've obviously scored the goal with the stretch pass. But you talked about this in the previous game, Marty, about and you said something yourself that there's a bit of defensive work. This 3 guys go in, nobody's minding the shop there. Somebody's came straight into the low slot, which was where 90% of the games goals in hockey are scored, and they've brought it back to 3-3. But look, we go on and we come away with the extra point with the shootout. So props to Jackson and Tom this weekend. I thought both goalies over the 65 plus 60, 125 minutes. I thought both goalies had really good weekends.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I think goaltenders were really, really good. We're very lucky in our season when we've got 2 really top goaltenders, and the big thing about it is they both want to play. There's not one of them that wants to sit and just pick a wage check up and just jump in whenever he really has to. They both want to play, which is great, and they're playing really, really well.
Let's have a quick listen to what Adam had to say afterwards.
Game.
Well, actually, I'm pretty happy with most of the game. I thought we controlled the majority of the game, bar maybe the second period there. We took a little bit of wind out of our sails with those 2 penalty kills early on, and the game was kind of back and forth, similar to last night. Obviously getting 2 big power play goals there for us, especially the second one at the start of the third period gives us the lead, and then Mish comes up with another big goal there, 5-on-5 to give us the 2-goal cushion. I thought from then on, I think it was maybe early on, they had a couple of good looks in the third period where Jackson made some real key saves to keep us at 3-1. From then on, I thought we controlled the majority of that period. And then we lost focus there at the end. I think the spectacle there with their player and then the power play. And I think really our guys trying to get Mishmash the hat trick, I think. And that kind of took precedent over the potential for what happened. And it's a lesson for us to be learned that you got to compete for the full 60. Never quit, never switch off. But at the end of the day, it was a big comeback effort there, to get this pretty clutch in the shootout. So it was nice to see that as well.
Belfast's a great hockey team. I thought they were better than us today. I thought a lot of momentum came from their power play. They made a lot of corrections. A lot of good things happened there. But at the same time, at the end, when we needed the big penalty kill, our guys really stood up and were difference makers. Our goaltender, again, was fantastic, and we never quit, which is a great sign for a team.
Just before we move on to our next guest, then, just a quick word for Corey Nielsen and the team he's assembled there in Glasgow. It's a bit of a different beast this season, Simon.
I think he's done a really good job. There's some toughness. There's some really talented players. Like Marty touched on Sidorov. He's a top player. Mitchell Hurd's a decent player. But we keep on talking about other teams' players. We have got some of the best players in the league. There's no doubt about that. I'm sick of everybody else basically saying, well, he's great and he's great. Our team we've got a team. When we play the right way and we listen, follow Adam's instructions and stuff like that. But we've some really, really talented individuals as well, and none more so than the next guy up.
You took the words from right there, Simon, talking of great players. Welcome along to View from the Bridge, Mike Lee.
How's it going, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hear you loud and clear, Mike. Well, how's things settling in for you in Belfast?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Team's been great. The whole staff, kind of helped me through the transition, but been here for almost 2 months now, so it's been great.
And what's your own sort of take on the last week? Obviously, a midweek game away to Fife, and then splitting the weekend with Glasgow, the home and home series.
Yeah, I mean, we had a great, week. Everyone kind of contributed that night, so it was that was a great game. Everyone, I think 6 different people scored goals. Our goaltender was great that night, and then going to Glasgow, that game on Saturday. I mean, they have a pretty good team. I mean, they competed hard. I mean, I think they outworked us on Saturday. Their team's pretty deep. They're big. They're physical. They have some skill guys that can put the puck in the back of the net. We didn't have our best game on Saturday. I think they played a better game than us, but then kind of going into that Sunday game, Kiefer kind of talked about how this league is kind of built. Like, you have to bounce back. You got to be a team that can be able to bounce back, and we did lose, but you got to come out the next night and kind of prove that we were the better team, and we got the 2 points, so it was good.
Mike Kitchie here, big fan. You talk about the weekend against Glasgow. Now, you've seen quite a few teams. Like, we've faced Cardiff, we've had Manchester, we've faced Sheffield. So you've seen the majority of the teams in the league. What's your view on the standard of the EIHL?
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to win, right? Like, we want to win. We think that we have the best team, but everyone comes out and competes, right? And we are one of those top teams, so teams kind of look forward to playing us, right? To like prove something in the league, I think so. That's why we have to kind of bring it every night, because teams they're going to bring it against us, to kind of show that they want to be one of the best teams in the league. So that's a challenge that we want, and we're going to keep going after.
Obviously, you spent the early stages of your career in North America, and then you made the jump to Slovakia. 2 seasons over there. What was your view in living in Slovakia for a couple of years, and obviously the standard of hockey there too?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously different country, so pretty good location wise. You kind of could travel throughout that area in Austria and Hungary, Czech. So that was great. It was great location wise. The hockey, I mean, the Slovakians love their hockey over there, and it's the top league. So you have a lot of guys that kind of don't go to other leagues, and they stay within Slovakia. So the non-imports of Slovakians are pretty good. So, and then there's only 7 imports allowed in that league. So they kind of, all the teams get quality players to really makes the league good. So yeah, it was a great 2 years. I mean, the hockey was great. Definitely was a great time. Looking back at it. So, but happy to be in Belfast now.
Mike, you were the latest signing for the Giants this season, and when you came in, you more or less just went straight into the top line with Gabe Bast. Gabe Bast, when he was here 2 seasons ago, he was known for kind of joining the rush, joining the play. Sam Rupp was his D partner, kind of let him have a bit of a free role. This season seems like he's kind of letting you do that. How have you found playing with Gabe Bast this season?
I mean, I don't think he's allowing me to do it. I think we take turns, but yeah, it's been good. I mean, I played with Basti in juniors 10 years ago. He's a good player, and yeah, that season he had 2 years ago was, probably one of the best defensemen ever had, I think, in this league. But no, it's been good. I think we kind of, I think we are both offensive threats, but we both kind of play off each other, right? So yeah, there is that notion that you need an offensive defenseman and a defensive playing together, but I think we work well. We move the puck, we both skate well, so it's been good so far.
Mike,
Yeah, I know you're right. Anything.
Oh, sorry, Marty, go ahead. Sorry, man.
Just one more. Just one more. Yeah, when you're on the ice together, it just feels like an extra element of offense in the game. And obviously, you've just been pinpointing them shots in the back of the net, so that's maybe why I've noticed you kind of more involved in the rush so far.
Yeah, I mean, Basti, he's been knocking on the door, so obviously, he doesn't have as many points as he wants, but trust me, he's knocking on the door. He's right there, so the points will come, but he's playing well, and the points will eventually come. So,
Mike, we often get the opportunity to talk to guys about a little bit of their time off the ice and how they're settling in the city. Has everything been good for you so far?
Yeah, it's been great. The apartments are great here. Just a quick walk to the city, which is awesome. And I'm a golfer, so a lot of golfers on this team. I'm not the best, but I go out there and have fun. But some of the guys are really good, and it's fun to watch. We actually went golfing today, so yeah, it's been good.
And last week's kind of gone now. You'll have done your video analysis. You'll have looked at the games, but your head will be on to this coming weekend. He has 2 big games for us on the road. Sorry, one and one. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I play Coventry and Nottingham, right? Yeah. So 2 teams I haven't seen yet. So we really haven't looked at them yet, but expecting the same thing that expect every weekend. Those teams are going to come out and they're gonna try to prove themselves in the league, and it's our 4th league game, so we're kind of stepping into that. I think we have four straight league games coming up, so that's going to be a test, right? Because say if we win all 4 games, we're going to be first in the league, and it starts on Friday, and just take it one game at a time.
Have you found the adoption to every game being so critical? The cup, because of the format, you want to end up top of your group, you want a biggest win percentage that you can, and the league being kind of the main prize. You can't take a night off in September. Yeah,
it's definitely interesting, right? It is the only league that does that in hockey. It's definitely interesting, right? Because you don't ever want to, if you're looking, say, in December and January, and looking back in, October, November, and you're saying, we should have had a couple more games, that league, this league, you can't do that. You have to win early, and you have to put yourself in a good spot for, that, in February and March, where, you are in the top 2, just say, or even 3, but definitely want to be in that top 2, because once you start losing games later in the season, it's not good. So definitely setting yourself up now is the best thing for us. So this is my first year here, and Kiefer keeps saying, he said it today in the locker room, it's very critical. So I think the guys, we have a lot of guys that played in this league before, and they know too, and they say the same thing. So yeah, just one game at a time, and we got to just put our best effort out there.
Well, listen, Mike, thank you for joining us on the View from the Bridge tonight. We'll wish you well for the weekend. We'll maybe catch up with you somewhere along the road, and all the best for what the season brings to you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And without further ado, we will have to keep rattling on here, because I've got 2 great guests waiting in the green room. We'll go straight on now to no stranger to View from the Bridge, but thank him for coming on again. Newest head coach of the Nottingham Panthers, Danny Stewart.
How you doing, guys?
Not too bad, Coach. It's I guess outside the Belfast Giants, it's a big job in the EIHL. Congratulations on the move to Nottingham. How's everything working out for you?
Yeah, firstly, thanks. Secondly, yeah, so far so good. I think it's still early days, but we've got off to a good start in the Cup, and played some good hockey, won some good games at home and on the road in some tough buildings. So some good signs early. League, we've only had the 2 games. Went into Glasgow and didn't necessarily have our best performance, but I thought Glasgow played well on the night too. And then, back against Fife at home, and we had a really good performance there and close that one out. So yeah, like I said, some good signs early on, still some things as every coach would say that we got to clean up and get better at, but can't complain where we're at right now.
Do you feel much difference between the jobs? Obviously expectation, all fans want to win every game, but big crowd arena team, there's expectation within Nottingham there that there mightn't have been in the last number of years.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think it's probably underestimated how the expectations were in Coventry from the fan base. They expect us to win every night too. So, but yeah, it's a bigger fan base naturally, and yeah, I think coming in first year, the expectation, we're not dipping our toes just because it's my first year. We're trying to get back up with the big boys, if you will, and we want to win hockey games. So I haven't really sensed any of the pressure. I mean, maybe it's experience combined with us not having really much adversity so far this year. I'm sure that'll come at some point, as it does every team. But until then, we'll just enjoy our good start and keep working to get better.
Danny, you went into Coventry there for the first time as a Nottingham Panthers coach a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure you got a rapturous applause from the Blaze fans because you were there a long time and did some really good stuff in Coventry. How was your view on it?
Yeah, I mean, it was there was a little reception at the start. I don't know. I don't think they wanted to make too big of a deal about it, but I'm okay with that. I'm not really the limelight type of guy, but yeah, we went in there and we had obviously had the game against them previously in Nottingham. It was a bit odd. I won't lie, going back in there as a visitor after so long as the coach, and especially as an opposing coach. And I didn't get as much stick as I thought I was going to get from behind the bench. I was surprised at that, but second time round, I'm sure it'll be different. But we actually didn't play a very good hockey game. I think, but Coventry probably deserved to win that game. But in the end, we had a good start. We had a good first period, and we got up 2-0 early, and managed to hang on there. And I think it was probably unfortunate for them that they didn't get at least something out of the game. But we took the 2 points and got out of there quick.
You talk about getting stick as a coach, going from Nottingham into Coventry. You didn't get as much. Obviously, you've had your fair share around the league, and you got a wee bit in Belfast over the last couple of years. Just to let you know, you'll probably get a bit more now that you're Nottingham Panthers coach.
Oh, yes.
I'm expecting it. Look, at the end of the day, I've been around a long time. I wasn't the most liked guy as a player. I'm kind of used to it, so I'm fully expecting it. But I got the guns loaded. I can give it back as good as they take it. That's for sure.
Hey, Danny, I actually played against you. I played with a chance 2003, 2004, and then I played 06, 07. So
my first year, yeah.
I played against you. So yeah, you kind of riled me up against the boards a few times. You know how tough you can and gritty you can be. But my question is, has your day-to-day job changed, differently with going into an arena team, compared to what you'd done on a daily basis? What Coventry, 8 years, weren't you?
Yeah, massively. I think I'm there to coach in Nottingham. I had the director of hockey title in Coventry, and I was, by my last year there, I was doing travel. I was booking the buses. I was helping guys with visas. I was helping with flights. I was, all the off-ice stuff, even dealing with some sponsors and, everything. I had a lot on my plate. And, when I had the first conversation with Omar in Nottingham, it was strictly, you're here to coach, help recruit the team, bounce things off each other. But other than that, once we get into season, it's just coach the team. So it's been a big transition for me. I find out about things that I had my finger on the pulse on in Coventry, and it just kind of, like slightest thing, like jerseys, like we just had a superhero night, and I had no idea we were having a superhero night until like a day before the game, because I'm not a big social media guy. So unless I'm on there looking, I had no idea. Whereas in Coventry, you know, I'd look at the jerseys, you know, along with the team, we'd kind of mutually agree on designs and stuff like that. So now I'm just coaching. So it's a nice change of pace. I think it's a transition though too, because, you know, you're so used to having a voice with other areas of the club, but now it's just kind of, you know, you just worry about coaching the team. We'll take care of the rest.
And one more from me. The rivalry between yourselves and Sheffield seems to be getting a bit closer. You've played them twice already this year. They've just pipped you on both occasions. Do you feel it's coming? Do you feel that you can get one over them this season?
I sure hope so. We played a pretty good game at home against them and just fell a little bit short there. And then we played a really good 2 periods in Sheffield and, you know, got ourselves a 3-1 lead going in the third. And I'll try to keep it. I got a bit of a warning from the league after my interview on that next game. So there was some calls that I didn't necessarily agree with. I think there was 2 penalties called all night, and then I think we got back-to-back minors at the end of the second, and we managed to kill them off, but they got some momentum from it though. And then I think they got 2 power plays in the third again on really questionable calls, and again we killed them off, but again the momentum just seemed to turn, you know, with having to kill, you know, 4 off there in the last kind of 24 minutes. So unfortunate that we gave up that late goal to send it to OT and we lost. So but 2 good games, 2 very, you know, closely fought games that could have went either way. And so to answer your question, I feel like, you know, I think if we can string that 60 minutes together against them, I think it could happen. But they're, you know, look, they're a great team, and, you know, can't take that away from them.
Coach, I know that a question in from a listener, a watcher here. Well, this is quite a generic question. What things do you spoke there about being part of the recruitment with Pash there? What things do you place the most emphasis on when recruiting a player? Is it, you know, there's so many things. So I'll let you have a.
I think what you know, what skill set they're bringing. You know, what are you looking for? You know, do they tick that box? And then, you know, character's the big thing. I think more and more now than it ever was. You're looking for good people with good character. I don't know if you still have as strong of personalities in the room to hold guys accountable that are a little bit, you know, got the big egos and stuff like that. And, you know, I think back in the heyday, you know, you had strong groups and personalities that could handle those guys in the room. I think it's tougher to do in this day and age. So I think, you know, getting those good character references and, you know, being a good teammate and, you know, buying in and, all that stuff is very much at the top of the list for sure.
How do you find I love the psychology of it all. How do you find the 2024 player as compared to, say, the 2014 player that you're maybe just not able to be as hard on them in this HR world that we live in?
Yeah, and they're all different in their own way, but yeah, I think the screaming and yelling day in day out, like our season's a long season, and, you know, if you're in there screaming and yelling, you're going to lose them by end of October. So I think, you know, there's a time and a place for it. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's more, for me anyway, personally, more maybe one-on-one behind closed doors. And every once in a while in between periods and things like that, guys need a bit of a kick in the ass for sure. You know, I'm not going to ever stop doing that. But, you know, you gotta nurture guys a little bit more. And I think another thing that's different about this day and age is, you know, I'd say maybe back in my early playing days, you just bought in. You didn't ask why. You just did whatever the coach asked, what he wanted. And now it's like, you know, they do want, and every coach will say this, they want to know why for everything. And they ask a lot more questions. So you certainly got to be a lot more prepared than maybe back in the day to answer, you know, a bunch of questions. So yeah, I think a different era, but, you know, I think I was fortunate in the sense that I was transitioning out of playing and coaching at the same time towards the end. So I got to kind of play with the transition of the different era and then get to know them a little bit better as an older guy. And maybe that's helped me a little bit, you know, understand them as a coach.
Well, we were talking about our daughters earlier, and I've got one that questions everything. Why, Dad, is pretty much everything. So I have some empathy with you there, Coach. Let's bring it on to this weekend. Obviously, friend of the show, Mark Cavallin, brings his Dundee Stars down on Saturday. You just get to sleep in your own bed and be ready for the Belfast Giants coming Sunday. It's a big weekend for the club.
Yeah, no, very big. Like you said, we're a bit behind in games played in the league, so we got to take advantage of those games, especially at home. We've played well so far at home, and Dundee will be a tough test. Been watching their game against Cardiff today, and they've got 3 good lines with talent. They've got they've got some skill in the back too, with obviously Ben going there and Dow and McDonald, and they got some grit too. And so I think they're a team that's gonna press the envelope a little bit. They're gonna push, and I think with that skill, they try to get in behind you, and they try to, I don't want to say cheat, but at the right time, they try to get in behind you, like I said, and you have to play the right way against them and play a good structured game.
And then Belfast in on Sunday afternoon for a matinee performance.
Yeah, always tough. And look, they've obviously retooled this year and brought back some of the guys from your powerhouses there a couple of years ago, and added some key guys, and a couple guys that they have that we looked at this summer and unfortunately missed out on. But a lot of depth, great goaltending, great back end. I think probably a lot more skill on the back end than maybe teams past that they've had. But yeah, I mean, I think they'll, come the end of the year, they'll be right up there challenging for everything.
Well, Coach, listen, thanks very much for your time. I'm sure we'll catch up with you later in the season, probably catch up with you at the weekend, but all the best.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Danny.
Take care.
Well, thanks again to head coach of the Nottingham Panthers, Danny Stewart, for joining us. He's always very affable and helpful to us here at the podcast. But listen, now part of the show that I'm not going to do around the league or anything this week, Simon, as you'll be pleased to know. I haven't got anything lined up, but this is fanboy stuff. This is taking me back to 25 years ago. So excited about our next guest, the very first guy to ever put pen to paper, put his trust in our city, come and represent us. Delighted to welcome back the View from the Bridge after a very long time, Mr. Mark Cavallin. Welcome back, sir.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Delighted. Listen, I want to go right back. I want to go right back straight away without going on what's going on at the minute, which we'll come to. I assume the call came from Wiss way back when, saying, Mark, got an opportunity in Belfast. Do you fancy it?
Yep, do remember I was at my wife's house, her parents' house in Swindon, and I just looked at her and said, what do you think? What do you know about Belfast? And she pretty much gave us nothing, no information whatsoever. And we just talked about it. The basis of the whole thing was that I knew Wiss was a great guy, great coach, a guy that you'd want to follow. And when he assured me that everything was going to be cool and everything was going to be a great time, and that it was going, he didn't know everything, but he had a good feeling about it. So when he asked, I was like, I think this would be a good opportunity, and I was pretty excited about it.
Did you think, and if phrase this, that 25 years later, even though your stay in Belfast was relatively short in the overall pantheon of the club's history, that you would still be remembered with such fondness, and that Belfast would still be such a powerhouse?
No, definitely at the time, that's 25 years later. Did you have to remind me, kind of thing? But it was one of those where you could get a sense once we moved into the arena that, whoa, this is top notch. And the second year is when you realized, wow, this is, the city is behind this. I do remember also at the beginning, the first year, my picture when I was wearing a goalie mask was all over the billboards, all over the city. And it was the figure skaters comment of Torville and Dean, it ain't. like saying this is going to be a little bit rough stuff coming. And that was pretty cool. So everywhere I was driving around Belfast, like the billboard was always there, which was cool.
Cavvy, great to see you again. I know you were only here a few weeks ago. Oh, sorry, Davy.
You just keep talking there. I think I have that just over here.
He keeps everything. He's a bit of a hoarder.
I've got one of those too.
Great. I mean, it was great to see you in Belfast there in August. I hope you enjoyed your stay. I know you were looking forward to coming and obviously, bringing your team to Belfast. How was that for you?
It was just too short. I wanted more time in Belfast. I had to also coach the 2 games and focus on that. But really, all I wanted to do was just soak up every minute that I was there. It was a great time, and I you try and tell people how great of a city it is, but you don't, they don't. No one would ever really appreciate it until they're there, and then afterwards they're like, "Wow, that was just unbelievable." And again, yeah, way too short. But for me to go back, it was amazing. And you kind of go, are you ever lucky enough to return to somewhere that has been special? Like, do you ever get that chance? And I consider myself lucky. So guys are asking me all the time, "Hey, can we go back? Can we go back?" So yeah, let's see, Torvill and Dean.
Oh, well, not Torvill and Dean, but this is the very first inaugural program from season 1.
I got that one.
Cover star, and then
Just hold it up again for me.
I will in a wee second for that other, but our opening night is another little bit of memorabilia. We've got our opening night game sheet also featured.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Scotty Stevens, 2nd of December.
Yeah.
But this Simon, you want to hold that? Sorry for the glare of the light, everybody.
Yeah.
It's just
Love it.
Well, I've got this.
And the stick.
Kind of matches this.
We had that. Well, this is actually signed by the man himself. I don't know if you can see that.
So
when Mark was here in August, we got him to sign this stick because we were going to give it away as a prize to somebody, because it's been lying in my shed for so long. That's the stick that you used on the opening night in Belfast.
Yeah.
And when you seen me walking in through the door, your 2 goalies were in the room.
Yeah.
In the artist dressing room after your meeting. And they're going, what is this? I mean, they've never seen a wooden stick before. But when we went away after that, we didn't give the stick away.
Yeah,
so that's yours when you come back to Belfast.
I have to come back then.
Well, absolutely, 100%.
I'm very happy for you to have it.
What's that?
I'm very happy for you to have it.
Look, it's that you were just, when I seen your face on that night, and on that morning, when we basically brought the stick in, it was like somebody bringing in one of your best Christmas presents. So it's all yours. By all means, fill your boots. But I want to take you back to the opening night in Belfast.
Yeah.
Playing at home for the first time as a Belfast Giant, taking the ice in front of a sold-out crowd. What were your memories from that night?
Really, I just felt the enormous pressure that I put on myself to deliver for the fans. Really, that's all it was. They've been waiting for so long. They're finally here. We've been waiting a long time as well. And it was really, to serve. Like, how can we serve them up the best night ever? There's a couple of bouts. Like, I know, Paxton fought, Bowie fought. And all we needed was a win. Like, we lost 2-1. And I was so upset about that. Every goalie has lost games before, but really that one, I just wanted to win for the fans.
Mark, when you first arrived, sorry, you probably don't remember me, but if I tell this little story now, you might remember.
He had a lot more hair.
When you guys arrived in Belfast, obviously the Odyssey, now the SSE, was you were waiting a few months before it was going to be completed, and you could obviously step on the ice. But you were training day in, day out at the ice bowl, in Donald Ice Bowl.
Yep.
And I was that spotty 17-year-old that kept on saying the date whistle. Can I skate? I know I play ice hockey, and
No
Scotland
way.
kind of came to the team, and he kept on saying, "Yeah, I need to speak to Bob. I need to speak to Bob." And yeah, I don't think he ever spoke to Bob, but
Was that I said that?
hey,
Who did you ask?
Dave Whistle. I kept on saying, "Can you
Kept
speak to
asking
the guy?"
Bob. I
I kept
think
on
I remember you now. Like my memory is the worst possible, but it needs to be, joggled a bit and like reminded. And then I'm like, yeah, I do remember you. Yeah, you had really long hair, big, bushy, full of hair.
Yes, sorry for being that kind of that guy, but
Yeah.
no. What I want to go on to say is, more or less, you guys were treated like rock stars. You were a big deal. With the different clubs, pubs, whatever. It was like, oh, Belfast Giants, Belfast Giants. Had you ever felt that before in another city, whether it be Europe, UK, America?
Yeah,
Had you kind of had
in
that be in the
various
States about
degrees.
you?
Yeah, in various degrees, various forms. But I think the history of Belfast is something that was very unique. And that was always something conscious of everyone, especially myself. Like before I arrived, I read books and did research and kind of going, okay, what am I going into? What do I have to be sensitive about? That kind of stuff. And, it was just great to when we arrived that it was like, oh, wow. Okay, this is something confirmed in me is like, yeah, you just don't always believe like the media is one thing, but there's more to just what you see on TV. It's the people. It's what the people are like and what is it like living there. And that was apparent right away. Like it was just like, oh, okay, this is, you have your preconceptions of what it's going to be like, and then you hit reality, and it was just fantastic. Now, also, I've always been a person that just is like, love the new adventures, new opportunities. I embrace them. Like when I went to play in Germany afterwards, loved that as well. Learned the language, immersed myself in the culture there as well, and absolutely loved it there. But Belfast had it was a lot of unknowns. Definitely what to expect, what it was going to be like. The difficulty part was we had to delay it because of, like you said, the opening of the Odyssey was like, okay, what is it going to be like? So the first few months were difficult. And we know everyone worked really hard on the marketing and making sure everything was right, but you really didn't know what it was going to be like until it started hitting. And it was, it was just, like you said, it was just phenomenal right from the get-go.
Can you remember, Mark?
No.
The first time, all right, we'll try and put yourself in your memory that the first time you walked in to the arena, even if it was, let's even take opening night. Yeah. Just the first time you felt the buzz of the crowd. And then if you like a few months ago there in August when you're back, your first time, if you like, did it hit the same?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like obviously you want to be a player and feel that. But going back this time was just, it was just flood after flood of just memories coming back and just going, wow, really, like it was. I am just also very grateful how it is just evolved, developed. What it is and how solidified it is in within the city that the Giants are. Like there's been so many people that I've come across that are from Belfast. Once you can pick up their accent right away, and you go, "Hey, are you from Belfast?" And then I would be quick to say, do you know who the Giants are? And then I would drop it right away. Like it happens so many times. And then like for example, there's my son Luke, who is a goalie. He's 23 now, but when he was about 14, 15, he was in school. So you go to the first parent-teacher interview, right? Like the meeting, and to meet the teacher. So my wife sends me the great example, right? Perfect guy to go. So I walk into this gymnasium and all these teachers there, and then obviously one of the people working there realizes that I have no idea what I'm doing. They're like, "Can I help you?" Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." And I'm like, "I need to see this teacher." Right? Okay, fine. So she points me in the right direction. I go sit down, and this is not a word of a lie. It is the day that I returned back from Rob Stewart's testimonial. It was that. So here I was, 3 days of having a great time in Belfast. I get back to Canada. I walk into this gymnasium. I'm still not recovered from the 3 days. Okay, just to be a little honest. And I'm like, whew, okay. I walk into the gymnasium. I sit down, and the teacher, my son's teacher, starts speaking, and I think I'm in a time warp, or what is going on here? There's no chances. And she's from Belfast. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, so I asked her, and we start talking. I said, yeah, I played for the Giants. She's like, oh, no way. That is unbelievable. So she goes on. We start sharing some stories. I go home. Luke, you're set, buddy. You're good. You're good for the rest of the school year. So there's been several of those. You know, I bump into someone, I hear their accent, and then I just love the opportunity of talking about Belfast.
Well, there's nothing we love talking about as dads, and Paddy as well, who's second, is talking about their own kids. So tell us a little bit about looking at them. How are they getting on in the game?
Oh, they're doing great. Yeah. So Luke is a goalie. He's 23, and he's just starting to carve his niche into the pro scene. Then there's Adam, who's a forward, and he's in the junior ranks right now. So he's got this year and another year, and then after that, I'm not sure if he's going to go to school or what he's going to pursue. But they both have British passports. But
yeah. Oh, we're well aware. Don't worry. The other side of thing is they're both playing in Quebec City this year.
Yes.
Are you going to get a chance?
They're about 45 minutes away from each other.
Oh, perfect. Are you going to get a chance to get up and see them this year?
I've already gone to see Adam play twice, and once with Luke. Luke joined me as well. Like we went to watch him. So that's just great. Like that there's this close. Like the chances are, like Luke could have been anywhere in North America. Like he could have been 4,000 kilometers away, and then for them to end up that close is absolutely amazing.
When you're looking at Luke as a goalie, and you're looking at yourself as a goalie, obviously, you know, when my daughter, she's 20 now, Jasmine's 20, but when she was growing up, she's like, she wanted to skate and show it. She's no interest in hockey now. She's no interest in, actually just wants to drive about and do her work and earn some money and go on holidays. But when Luke was growing up and he was watching you playing, obviously, you know, he would have been very, very young when you were playing in Germany. But your similarity in play between you and him, is there anything there at all? Or what's the conversation between you and him now?
We have, like, it is phenomenal for us to share. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like me. He's a lot bigger than me. He's faster, better than me, everything. Like, he can play the puck so much better than I could. Like, I'm jealous. He gets all this equipment that I never had. And so I'm pretty jealous of a lot of things that he has. But I do get to help him with the in between the years kind of stuff, like, you know, the ups and downs of playing the position. There's a lot of it, and riding that wave in the middle is really important for a goalie. I think I was way too hard on myself, just beat myself up, you know, terribly when I didn't play well. And he is a lot more even keel, which is nice to be for a goalie.
And what about Adam in Drummondville? You know, he's forward, obviously a wee bit different than Luke, but how's he getting on?
He's doing well. He's just kind of figuring out what kind of a player he really is, and like what does he bring, and he hasn't figured that out yet. He's got some skill, but he also has some strength too, so it's kind of like, which one does he like, where does he fit in? And he's kind of just figuring that out now. Like the last couple of years, he's been just been used as like a third line, fourth line guy, and just go in, get it in, and bang away, which, you know, there's a bit more to him there, and he just needs to kind of get some reps in.
And I was talking to you when you were in Belfast. You were talking about Jason Wright, who was played with you in year one in Belfast, and you're now coaching his son.
That's right.
How's that going?
That's phenomenal. Like he's actually not medically cleared to play at this moment. He's gone through quite a few medical issues, but he played for us last year and the year before. And so Jason doesn't live nearby, but he's always reaching out to me. Hey, good game. You play, you guys did well today and stuff. He's always watching. And so we're always talking. And when he comes into town, we meet up and that kind of thing. And very cool. Very cool to have.
Marty, got any?
Sorry, Davy, I thought I was going to pass it over to you, Davy, because I know you were looking for something rummaging about there.
I can go find that Torvill and Dean thing if you want.
Here's a couple of things that I've managed to pull out. So this is the
I remember that one. Yeah.
When we played Team GB.
Yeah.
We actually played Team GB for the second time in our history, just in pre-season there. This is the night we won the league in Bracknell.
Remember that.
In there somewhere.
Yeah.
Because of back to front, maybe somewhere here.
Yeah.
I think Mike Bales must have been playing that night. He's got his helmet on. And then the night we went back to the Odyssey and got that.
Remember that? Yeah.
Got the ball.
Very
cool. The Monteith ball as it was back then. But Mark, I wish you could see the comments. What's Simon got on his head now?
All about the Ravens.
Oh, nice.
I wish you could see the comments and just the reverence that you're held in a quarter of a century later. Sophie Jarrett, thank you. And I know that I feel, and I know so many people will feel the same. Yeah. And we have players on all the time, Mark. Yeah. And I talk about this all the time because I'm an East Belfast man. I wish I could have played hockey, but I can't. So for guys to come from the other side of the Atlantic, represent my city, and 25 years later, still love it as much as we love him. It gives me goosebumps to be able to do this podcast sometimes, but there's another one here, James McConville. Okay. What a player, and even better person. Had a great day at Croke Park with Shane Johnson and the late Pete Collins for a TV piece. Watching a hurling match.
Yes, I still have the jersey. And I talk to everyone. Like, hurling is not a big sporting event, like sporting followed here, obviously. But I tell people about it, and I still have the jersey, from the goalkeeper from the hurling match. So yeah, that was a great experience. I'm so glad I got to do that.
I have another question for you here, which will evoke memories. What was it like? Oh, there you, Lynchy. Legend. I clicked the wrong one there, but what was it like arriving back at Belfast City Airport after we'd won in Bracknell?
That was just fantastic to feel that. Just that welcome back was very special. And also because the airport is a personal, airport that you can feel like, hey, you're not just going into a big empty space or whatever. And that was just phenomenal. Like, we had a good party that night as well, the night before, and we celebrated. And then to come home to that was just like having another one. And, that was the start. And I'm really so happy that Belfast is the pinnacle, the team that everyone, tries to, what's the word? Follow or
emulate.
That's the word. There you go. Emulate, they really do. The rest. I talk to a lot of the teams over there, whether it's about recruiting some players that I have over here, that kind of stuff, and yeah, it's really okay. Yeah, Belfast. That's the one that you want to measure up against, and very proud that that's what Belfast started and just continued on and have always gotten better. And that's phenomenal. That is not just, the coaching staff or anything. It is all the people behind the scenes that do all that stuff. And, for this, the podcast, all that stuff is phenomenal.
20 or so years ago, you may have got a phone call rather than a text or an email as it is now. A phone call from a player who had perhaps been reached out to by Belfast, and Mark, here you've played in Belfast. What's it like? You know, when you give them a bit of a reference now. 20 years later, as a coach, you've got a player or someone from Belfast calls you up about one of your players and says, opportunity to go to Belfast here, coach, what do you think I should do?
Oh, this is for, I get this a lot, and, you know, I bring out like our book, everything. I'm just showing them, this is a phenomenal place to play. And it's, you know, the hockey world is small, and the opportunities to get that information now is very, you know, available to players that are interested in coming. Like when I came, there was no information, none whatsoever. You just take a leap of faith and you go. Whereas now, you know, when I talk to them, it is a professional environment, a professional organization that is just top notch. It is the one where you get treated and loved there, and it's a fun city. Like, it is fantastic. So, yeah.
Mark, just I will say, you know, in all that time when you were back here in August, there's been a lot of changes around the city. Obviously, you know, very close to the arena and what have you as well. But when you were here 25 years ago, did you live in Bangor at the time?
Did we get what?
Did you live in Bangor?
No. Some of the guys did. My first year, I was Stormont. The second year was, I don't know what it would be considered as a town. Like, it was Belfast.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So
I thought it was
probably like,
some of the guys lived in Bangor, and obviously you met up with Bosey when you were here.
Yeah.
And obviously Rob Stewart and Steve Thornton, who you played with as well. But it must bring back some fantastic. I mean, I bumped into a group of players that I played with. They had a gathering at the arena one night there about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I haven't seen some of them in 25, 30 years. But you never forget it. Like, I mean, it just everything. Some of the stories that were coming up in that room, I completely forgot about. And then when somebody's mentioned, you go, "Oh my god, yeah!"
Yes.
And it must have been brought some memories back for you as well at that time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like Shane Johnson and Stewie, like, we went out that Saturday night together, and that was just great to be, you know, back together with those guys. Shane Johnson was my roommate on the road. So, and that was for 2 years straight. We spent a lot of time together. So that was really cool. He's a great guy. Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Mark, if you'd one abide in memory, just one of your time in Belfast, the league wins, the first night, coming to the airport, or something just as simple as walking around Belfast. You know, what would your abiding memory of those good times be?
To the peak one. I don't know if I have one. Like, I'm just kind of, you know, I've thought about that. I was asked when I was there as well. Like, I'm just not one of those guys. I don't even have a favorite hockey team or a sport team or anything like that. It's just all in general. And, you know, really, like, that the dressing room was a phenomenal time. When like, after games, spending that time in the dressing room, that is phenomenal times. Okay. And that is something that you always cherish. Like, we had some really colorful characters, you know, like Wardy, hilarious, absolutely hilarious. You know, and then obviously there's Paxton. Paxton sat beside me in the dressing room. Man, there was always something with him, you know. And Wiss was a funny coach and just a good-natured guy, and that was really cool. And then some of my best buddies on the team were Jeff Hode and Roddy Stevens, you know. And then the second year, Wiss brought in my two buddies that I played with, that was Transcend with, and David Matsos. So that was really cool as well. So it was some good times, and I was just, you know, pretty grateful of the whole experience.
Because I don't have the technical ability that Paddy has, we'll have to do it this way.
Yeah, that is so cool, eh? I got that. Yeah, that is really cool.
But,
yeah, everyone I'm showing it to, they're like, "Oh man, that's awesome." Yeah.
Listen, Mark, I really hope we get to see you back in I'm disappearing here.
Yeah.
Back in Belfast.
Yeah.
I'll turn my light off. Have to turn back on.
Well-
Back in Belfast again soon, where Simon will get that stick in your hands to take back to
Yeah.
Canada with you. Listen, I can only thank you for your time as a Belfast Giant, and you know it does give me goosebumps doing this kind of thing. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your thoughts tonight.
Goosebumps here too. Thank you so much, guys, and well done. This is absolutely amazing. Okay, well done. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Cavvy. Take care, mate.
Okay, bye.
Oh man, this is a privilege at times to be able to do this, and this was no different. Really, thanks for organising that, Simon. Thank you to Mark Cavallin for coming on. The first Belfast Giant, still in a pretty exclusive club. Well, that'll never be taken away. There'll never be another first. There's only been 250 guys put on the teal jersey in the 25 years, but for to be number one and to be spoken about in the comments the way he had, we can only thank him for his time in teal. Listen, we've got to move on here. It's been an hour and a half. Simon, Marty, any other business?
Marty, you want to go first?
Yeah, I've got some sad news. Yvonne Keeney, lifetime Belfast Giants fan, she passed away last week. She was a regular attender to the game just up until COVID, and yeah, her son Johnny Keeney said his news went very well. He's one of my best mates, and we played with him numerous times, different tournaments for the Ireland ice hockey team. So I just like to pass my condolences out to the Keeney family.
I think that's I'll apologize there because it's a surprise to me, and I'm really sorry to Johnny and the family. We'll make sure we play a proper tribute next week. I'll get a picture and stuff, but on this occasion, pass on our sincere condolences to the family there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Johnny Keeney, good guy, really good kid. Yeah, sad news indeed. Yeah, anything else, Marty?
No, that's all. Thanks.
Okay, so we are doing AVFTB are going to put a wee raffle together. We'll get the details up as soon as we get the okay from raffle site. Young Ethan McLean has got a bucket list. I know he's done a few bits and pieces off it, but he wants to try. Obviously, with as time moves on, we want to try and get helping Ethan raise a bit of money to get some more of his bucket list ticked. And it's always tough when we're trying to raise money for different things. And we've got a jersey which was set aside from the Oktoberfest last week. The Belfast Giants are going to put that forward. We've got it signed by Bobo Carpenter. We'll put it on a raffle. There'll be £2 a ticket. There'll be a couple of options for doing a few other bits and pieces for like multiple tickets and what have you. And once raffle take their fees out, everything else will become back into the pot for Ethan McLean. So please buy the raffle tickets when you possibly can. We also have a GoFundMe page for Ethan. Davy, have you got the wee link there? Or can we put that up on AVFTB?
We'll put it up on our Twitter, yeah.
Okay.
Whatever,
but yeah, if we can do that, that would be great. Superb. And yeah, I think that's me. Oh, wee Blakey's still in hospital. I seen him at the weekend. And he's feeling optimistic, and he sent me a wee photograph an hour ago as well while he's watching the podcast. Even though it's 10:30, I'd still be watching the podcast. And yeah, thinking about you, man. Hopefully get you out of hospital soon. Get
well soon, Blake. And obviously, as we say, we'll get the information on the raffle on our Twitter as soon as we can. Just remains for me to thank you, Simon. Thank you, Marty. Danny Stewart. Who else did we have on tonight? Mike Lee, D-Man Mike Lee. The fabulous guest, that was Mark Cavallin. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that, folks. Sorry for making a mess of the technical side of things, but this Saturday night, Simon's higher tickets going for the game v Coventry.
They're flying, mate. They're absolutely flying.
So if you can get yourself to the SSE, get yourself the SSE. If you can't, you'll get it on Belfast Giants TV with Mark and who this week?
I don't know if Martin's free. I don't know if it's going to be Steve. I have no idea.
Okay, well, anyway, you can get it on Belfast Giants TV. If you can't get the ring, Sunday afternoon on Lower Parliament Street. If you can't get to that, I'm sure Panthers also do a webcast, I'm sure. So watch that.
Davy, just out of interest on that, how long it'll take you to get from Nottingham to Birmingham Airport after the game?
Depends how fast you drive. Half an hour. Birmingham Airport. Would you not go to East Midlands?
I would go to East Midlands, but there's no planes from East Midlands at that time of night.
Birmingham.
There's a late flight from Birmingham, but I think it's 10 to 10. Should be able to get that, shouldn't we?
What time's the face-off?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, 6:30, 7. Leave the arena by 8.
Should be all right, shouldn't we?
We'll work something out.
No, we're not going to work something out. It's either yes or no.
No, I will have to think about it. And hopefully, I just have to check if Ruby's got hockey or Lily's got hockey. And
all right, sorry. I thought you were going.
So
my apologies.
Definitely, I'll be going. I'll be going if Lily's hockey's not on.
Okay, well, sure. We don't have to continue on there for an hour and 40 minutes here.
We'll talk. Never worry. We'll talk. We'll talk. Anyway, how does Paddy finish this off? I don't know. Can't remember. Wherever you are this week.
Whatever you're doing this weekend.
What is it, Simon? Whatever you're doing this weekend, enjoy your hockey.
Hold on. Paddy's been sick all night, and he will be sitting watching this. So get well soon, Paddy. I mean, obviously, Davy's done well, but he's no Paddy Smith. Like,
Paddy's got like 3 computers and 3 screens and all this. Anyway, wherever you are this weekend, we hope you enjoy your hockey, and we'll catch you next time on A View from the Bridge. Play outro.
Still you rise.